everybody. Welcome back to episode 7 of the Dare to Daytona Wednesday Night Track Walk. I am your host, as always, Mr. Joshua Temple. Um, yeah, welcome back, guys. We got a lot in store for this episode. We'll get to that soon, but first, I would like to formally introduce, after his 1 week hiatus, he is back for some more. Mr. Nepdog, welcome back to the show, bud.
Glad to be back, Josh. Had a blast down in the island and the Caribbean and all that, but I missed being here last week. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I definitely missed you. I'm glad you're back this week. And let me stop here by welcoming a very, very strung out hiatus. He's been what, Nep? Four episodes now? 5 episodes he's been kind of quote unquote missing.
Yeah, he'll miss the whole episode, but then he shows up for about 30, 40 minutes here or
Mm.
there.
Mr. Shiesty, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to have all of us back.
Hey, all I can say to that is the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Fuck yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm tired of doing your part anyway, so I'm glad you're back. But there is one more thing we have to do. We have a special guest on the show with us tonight. He's been on here before, and he is back for some more. Mr. Speedy, Jimbo Lake, welcome back to the show, bud.
Yes, sir. Thanks very much. Always a pleasure to be on here, chit chatting with you guys and talking about racing.
Yeah, no, I mean we get on here and we have a great time, so that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's fun, and now that you guys, got the full crew back, it'll only be that much better.
Hmm. All
I
right.
wouldn't go as far to say he's a special guest, though. Come on now.
Okay.
Well, even
Certain
special
special.
ed is special.
Yeah, exactly. Certain specialty. But anywho, let's get this show rolling. First thing I want to mention, and that's to you guys, all three, including myself, because I want to give some input on that. What is the first thoughts now that we have been able to run NASCAR 25? Shiesty.
I am loving it. Personally, I mean, the initiative iRacing took once they realized the force feedback wasn't working, it makes me feel like they're really out for the community that they brought together and all of us gamers. And with me having a wheel now instead of a controller, it's a whole different aspect, and it's really more immersive and it's more realistic. That's my favorite takeaway from it is the realism of this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was on just a little bit ago, and if you don't roll into the throttle coming out of the turns, you're just gonna lose. Your ass end's just gonna wash out from underneath you.
Speedy, let me hear from you.
Man, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's in some ways it reminds me of Heat 5, and then in a lot of ways it don't. And it's leaned more to the drivers, and you really just got to learn to wheel the car. Braking's different, and feedback's different. It's amazing. It's perfect for wheel players. I feel like once you get those settings locked down and learn what the car is going to feel like and do. That's the biggest thing, going into a Watkins Glen or something and just relearning the braking points and the shifting points and everything. It's amazing. Or we were over there running, I think it was Indianapolis Raceway Park. What a beautiful track, and like I said, it kind of reminds me of Heat 5, but just polished and just and the good thing about it is that they're not even done. There's a lot of things that they're still going to continue to work on to make it better. So I love it.
I agree the same way. I mean, running it, being able to feel what the game's doing, for mostly what has been given to us right off the bat, way better than what we had in Heat 5. And don't even fucking bring up Ignition 21 because that was a garbage game. But
Yeah.
yeah, but in all seriousness, they did a lot of work to this, and this shows, and it is a great, fun game. If you're finding this stressful, you need to figure out what you're doing wrong, and you really need to put some work into it because it's racing. We all, if you're there for it, you're there to enjoy it, and you're gonna find enjoyment no matter if it's trying to figure out how to drive the car. If you're coming into this just thinking you're gonna be able to come in and just dominate, think again. You have to put a lot of work into this game. But enough of me talking. Let me turn everything back over to Nep, and Nep just take it away, run with it.
Well, appreciate that, Josh. Um, Let me see if I can get back into my routine. It's been a while. No, I mean we started off the season. We've been talking going each season, and we've made it. We actually have two seasons covered this week, guys. We not only do we have our fourth, season 4 of the Cup, but also during this season we also introduced the startup of the Xfinity or Pro Cup Series, however you want to look at it. So a lot to cover. Uh, the Cup Series was 33 races, I believe it was, Josh.
The Cup Series was including the All Star race. Yes, 33 races
Yeah,
altogether.
including the All Star race was
Hmm.
33 races, and the Xfinity Series was a 16 race season. So it was real fun. Kept you on your toes because you had to learn both vehicles, both style of cars. Just do a quick recap of what we came into season 4. Samo was coming in as the defending two-time champion. Josh was coming in as a two-time champion, and BMF was a one-time champion. You know, from season 2. So it was really you know heating up. This I felt this league was really growing. I think we had one of our best turnouts for the start of the season. This season. You know, we went from starting this season. We found ourselves at Dover, an interesting race. Dover's always a tough track. You know, and as Josh said last week, the driver who name should not be mentioned, but we'll mention it anyway. Rowdy Rooster 79 was able to pull out the win there. In a hard battle. You know, and so Dover. Where do you go from Dover? None other than Charlotte Roval. Like the the admins really said, you know what, we're gonna have a long season and we are gonna make this season interesting. Um, we go into the second race of the season there at the Roval, and of course, Samo is always a road course expert. He was able to go out there and dominate that race and be able to pick up the win for race 2. We went over to for race 3. Now we're at a big auto club. I'm gonna miss it on the new game. I wish they'd just add it just for the hell of it, but I think a lot of us liked racing at Auto Club. Um, fast racing. Rowdy Rooster 79 was able to pick up his second win of the season. So going into the fourth race at Kansas, Rowdy's got an edge, but don't speak too soon because race 4 and man comes out. He's a defending champion, and he just demolished everybody. I think. I think. Let's see. At Kansas, Josh picks up his first win of the season.
Yeah, and let me touch up a little bit on that while we're on the subject there. So this was our last time seeing Rowdy Rooster 79. Stuck up snob. So I'll just throw that out there. Fun guy
I
to
agree.
fun guy to race with, though. I will 100% give him that. He definitely was. He was a hard competition, and he was part of our league growing and becoming more competitive. So I will give him his flowers for that. Other than that, he is a not good human being. So and like Speedy said, he agrees. We all felt it. So it was one of those things where again it raised the bar for how competitive our league can be. But again, it just people don't know how to act right about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you get that sometimes, and I hated it. He was a tough driver, but I think he was more to me. He was more about because he went live on YouTube, and he was about his ratings and
Mhm.
pulling in his people in and all that. That's all he cared about.
100%.
So he did not want to help anybody else out, and that's the one thing I like about this league. Even the best guys in the league, the fast guys, they're going to work with them guys that are running the back of the pack because they want to see them up there battling them for the wins. And Mr. Name did not be said. Just he wouldn't help out for nothing.
Mhm.
So, but
Okay, can I add something to that?
Shoot.
sure, go ahead.
Uh, my boy Samo last night fucking threw out all his setups, his settings, to everybody. So shit like that, which it's appreciated. And granted, Samo and I haven't gotten along, all the time. It's just kind of I look at it as just a, competitive kind of rivalry between him and I. But in the end, he's willing to help other people out and throw shit out there like that, which is muchly appreciated. And I think any of us would do the same. So that's pretty cool.
For all those Cowboys fans out there, it's like a brotherly and sisterly love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're not going to talk about the Cowboys right now.
All right, let's move on. Race 5. Let's go.
Race 5, and we pull into Bristol dirt, slinging some dirt in Bristol. It's always a fun track and all that to run at. And here comes Mr. Josh winning his second race of the season. You know, at Bristol. um, Bristol dirt's one of them that you got to fill the car, otherwise you're going to lose it 100%. Um, but Bristol dirt, where do we head to next? Once again, race 6, Road of America. So I mean, we're just bouncing all over the place here, and the favorite coming in would be a Samo, but let's don't count out Josh either, because Josh is good at road courses as well. Matter of fact, what does Josh go out and do? He goes out and wins the third straight race in a row, his third win of the season, on a hot streak, to say the least. Um, let's just say we're going to hear that name a lot this season because Josh, that was not saving anything for anybody else. I mean, he got a little greedy in this season.
Uh,
I mean,
he ticked off the wrong driver. That's what happened.
well,
Oh.
and I think part of it was, you won in season 1
Mhm.
because there was 2 champions. Then you won season 2, but then season 3, no,
Season 1, we had the 3 different days, so
y-
I won
yeah,
the
you won
2
2.
of them. Yeah.
You won 2. So you hadn't won a championship since season 1, since the get go.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think part of it was you were hungry for that championship because season 1 you won 2 champions and Samo won the other one. Season 2 was
BMF.
Samo. Oh, BMF, that's right. BMF
Mhm.
won season 2. Then Samo won, season 3. So you were hungry for a win. So from Road America, we go to the flat track of New Hampshire, where braking is important, and you pick up your 4th win in a row. And I was looking back at the stats, and I could be wrong.
Mhm.
I actually believe 4 races in a row is the most by any driver in this league. I don't think anybody's won 4 in a row.
Correct. I think we've gotten to the point where people would like sweep a weekend, well, a week because we do the Monday and Tuesday, but I don't think we ever been over 3. So yeah, I think 4 was the most, the biggest streak in a row.
Yeah, so hats off to you there, bud. Um, and from New Hampshire, we go to Talladega for race number 8, and finally, somebody's able to top Josh as Daytona was able to pick up his first win of the season. You know, Daytona is one of those pack racing, put your foot through the gas pedal, and you know, if you can work with the draft, Talladega and Daytona is one of those tracks that if you can work good in the draft, it anybody's game. It'll be interesting to see how this new game with the draft and all works out. But from race number 8, we go to race number 9 at Michigan, and we see another first time winner of the season, a Rowdy 1078 goes out there in his number 19 car pulling out the win. So, Michigan's another track like Auto Club, and Rowdy is phenomenal at getting on there and learning speeds and all that. And he was able to pull off the win there. From there, we go to race number 10, and we're at Worldwide, you know, and who picks up his 5th win of the season? Mr. Josh. And I will say that was a interesting track because you got a real tight turn 1 and 2, and then
Mhm.
a bigger turn 3 and 4. So you really you had to find your breaking point for that first turn, otherwise you were going to eat that wall.
And I'm sure Speedy and Shiesty can agree with me on this, but like it was just another technical track that was a flat Darlington. That's what World Tech was.
Yeah.
100%. It's different on both ends of the tracks. It's not necessarily the widest track, but it's a lot wider than Darlington, but it's got the same features except for the lack of banking.
Yeah, it's a tough track. There's not a whole lot of banking, so it's knowing your breaking points. At least that's what it is for me.
I have a little secret to tell about Worldwide, and it might have been in the last season, but I wasn't here and all that. Our team found the glitch in qualifying, and you could run and chastain the wall. And I think CJ ended up being on the pole for that race in season 3 because
Mhm.
that's what he did. He lagged back. He let everybody go so nobody could catch him, and he comes flying through there and just rips the freaking wall in 1 and 2, and it just shoots you down the back straightaway. After that, it was put in play that was banned.
Wall popping. Cannot do wall popping.
Yeah, can't do wall pumping. So anybody that's coming into the league, don't try it. All right, from Worldwide, we go over to Charlotte. The longest race of the season, and Mr. MBFTF able to pull out the win for this. His first win of the season.
And that was MB's
You know,
second ever win of his career.
yep,
Let's go MB.
Yeah.
MB, Mr. Stats.
I expect more out of him this season.
Yeah.
I expect.
100%.
Oh yeah. From Charlotte, we go to Super Speedway Daytona, and Mr. Bullet Bob is able to pull out the win. And
Sure, it's Bullet Bob.
Bob
yeah,
woke
Bullet
up
Bob.
in this
Seems like a
season.
plate racing phenom.
Yeah, Bob
Yeah,
seriously woke up this season. Season 4 was a good season for him. Just like Rowdy's name, you'll see Bob's name a good amount too.
right. Um, Daytona, same as Talladega, pack racing, bumper to bumper, cars, and you don't lose the draft, otherwise your day's over with. Um, I remember, um, I want to say it was this race. The team that I was on, we had a good run going, and I think I, I think I actually got a top 10 in that race. So I was actually, I'm happy with the plate racing and all. But but we go from monster fucking Daytona, Talladega down to Bristol asphalt, and y'all gonna get tired of hearing his name. Picking up his 6th win of the season, Mr. Joshua Temple. Um, Short track racing at its best. It just goes to show. I mean, Josh is one of those drivers that he can win at any track. He's already won at a short track. He's won at cookie cutter track, as they call him. He's won at road courses. Josh, you are the bee's knees, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
it's a lot. It's a lot to even try to like get to that point because like, and I'll say this over and over again. I pushed myself to the more of a limit because I had Samo on a different team. So when me and Smo were on the same team, like in the first 2 seasons, we worked together a lot, and we'd always try to make sure one or the other is up at the front, and we're pushing the other one. When it came to season 3, that's I think season 3 I led the league in wins that season. I don't remember if it was 6 or 7, but like it just you had to come out and show out. And same thing with this season. And this season, I'll put this little Easter egg in there. This was a season that Samo only ran a certain amount of races due to his scheduling. So that was maybe one other option why my numbers fluctuated so much, which you guys will
yeah,
see.
Yeah, because I didn't
yeah,
know who Samo was. He joined in late, didn't he?
yeah,
So,
He was there for the first 4 races, and then he popped in periodically.
yeah, because
okay.
you figure we're on race 13, and Samoa had only won one race, and that was up there at Charlotte Roval.
That was the second race out.
Yeah, so. But from Bristol, we go to the Tricky Triangle there at Pocono, and Mr. Temple's picking up his 7th win of the season on a terror. Bar none. I mean, Pocono is is one of them tracks you could run it in third and fourth gear, and just a matter of how you handle that short. What's it called?
Short
Short
shoot.
turn. Short shoot. That's it. Shit.
So also, I have something to take away from this Pocono race. I remember it very well. Um, it came down to me and Dirt Slinger racing each other for the last 4 laps. It was just me and her. And I think we were side by side for 95% of that. I think the last 5% was coming off turn 3, and I just edged her out to come off of 4 and actually clear her for the checkers. That these races were not just given. Like it wasn't just because like oh one of the better guys in the league wasn't in there. We were scrapping every single week. It was a hard, tough racing group at that time, and well, especially
Oh
with
yeah.
And
a lot of people, losing Rooster 79, he sparked up a big thing with other drivers and stuff, and that was just it added a whole new drama layer to us that we never really have. So that was another thing. Everyone was just through the roof, like I'm going out there, I'm gonna show up, show the fuck out, and that's really what this season was driven by.
Yeah.
and before we move on, I'd like
Hmm.
to remind everybody Dirt was racing for her first cup win in the league.
Hmm.
So she was hungry as ever. With this
Yeah.
being
Well.
her sophomore
Yeah.
season, I believe.
Yeah, sophomore season. Yeah,
Yeah.
because she came in her rookie season and she was able to win the dual race at Daytona in season 3, but she was always like right there on the cusp of winning her first race. So, you know, but from Pocono, we had an all-star race. We've done finished 14 races in the season. We got 32 races plus add in the all-star race. We take it to the Brickyard. We actually jumped back from the next gen cars. We actually all jumped over to the 2020 cars and ran special paint schemes. I do remember that. And we run at Charlotte, no, at the Brickyard. And who comes out with the win? None other than Mr. BMF, picking up, you know, an all-star win to go with his win earlier in the season. So,
Yeah.
he had really started. He had that one win before, but he was really starting to be
So
up there every week battling.
MB was another one. I mean, he had some wins on his plate in his career, but he was coming in hungry for a championship. And this season really showed it for him because that man, I feel like, finished in top five every week. He was always up there.
Yeah, you know, great guy. We've had him on the show and all that. The the points. What he does for this league is just phenomenal, and it's going. I look forward to seeing what he does with the new game and all that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not competing for a championship. Well, from the Brickyard and in the All Star race, we go to race 15, and we're at you know down south in Florida at Homestead Motor Speedway. Um, a good track. Everybody seems to love running at Homestead, especially Mr. Rowdy 1078, who picks up his second win of the season. You know, phenomenal for Rowdy. Another one that's coming in strong and looking to be a contender for the season. So,
Hey, Neb, can I
yeah,
chime in and say something?
go
MB
ahead.
ain't gonna win shit if he don't get on and start practicing a little bit. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there. I
Do
wish
I
to see. I wish we saw him on more.
do I hear
MB's a guy
rivalry?
that I would. Well, yeah, MB and I, we always tend to find each other. It's almost like me and Shiesty. Like
Hmm.
we're always around
Honestly,
each other, and I've had so many good races with Shiesty and MB both. I
Hmm.
feel like we're kind of you know on the same
Equaled out to
same
each other.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun because MB's also another one. He tries everything he can to be as clean as possible, but still wants to race you hard, and that's
he's respectfully aggressive.
absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why I got hooked on the game. However, he just don't get on and practice much, and I know it's a time thing. I get it. We all got lives, but I'd love to see him on more. Sorry,
Right.
I just wanted to add that.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing with Bob too. Bob's one of them that he tries to get in and practice as much as he can, but for the most part, sometimes you don't see Bob until like 5 minutes until go time. you know,
No, yeah, that's correct.
you know, if Bob was able to get on, I think if he was able to get on for an hour or two a day, there's no
Oh yeah,
telling what type of trouble we'll be in.
yeah, for sure.
But back on track. Race 16 took us to the beautiful Richmond International, where Josh was able to come out with his eighth win of the season, a short track win. Yeah, I think the only type of track that you didn't get a damn win at all season was a
Super
super speedway.
Speedway, exactly. Yep. I've always said it. If I'm at a track where I can help my teammate, I'd rather help the teammate versus win the race. So that's I fucking I've always done that. So definitely, yeah.
But Richmond's a fun track. Heat up the brakes, make sure that you're pitting when you're pitting and all that. But you're able to pull out your eighth win of the season. Really, looking to be odds-on favorite to win the championship. The key is, does it happen? All right, next we go over to my home state of Texas, Texas Motor Speedway, and once again, Mr. Joshua Temple picking up his ninth win of the season. Um,
Wait a second, this is bullshit. All you keep saying is Josh. Oh my god. This is the reason why Samo and Josh are to not be on a team together.
well, that's what
And
I'm
this is
saying.
why we have the draft now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
and they're usually pick 1 and 2. You know,
We always
because
rotate every year. It feels like a Samal goes
yeah,
first or I go first. It's always every single season we do. That might
you know,
change this season. You never know. I've hoped people that have teams have been noticing who they race and how they race, because there's two specific drivers which I will not get into right now. We will say that for a later date. There's two specific guys I see on, and they're blowing my expectations away with how good they've been. So kudos to
Well, I
them
think you'll be
boys and
able to
keep
cover
going.
that here soon.
I don't know what you're talking
well,
about, but Nep, you can go ahead and keep going.
all right, back on track. Race number 18. We were at that Michigan Motor Speedway, and Daytona was able to pick up his second win of the season. You know, he was able to find the right, line to run and was able to pull off the win. Um, Outstanding for Daytona. Um, Next, we go from Michigan to one of Josh's favorite tracks, if not his favorite track. We go to Darlington, where Mr. Rowdy starts to come on strong because he picks up his third win of the season. Saying, "Hold up, Josh, you're not going to be the only one in victory lane this season." He picks up his third win of the season, and Darlington's a fun track. From Darlington, we go over to Phoenix Motor Speedway, or what is it, Phoenix, whatever it's called, um, where Rowdy's able to go back-to-back weeks with a win, picking up his fourth win of the season. Um, we done discussed it about Rowdy. Rowdy's one. He will get on the game and he will learn the tracks. And it, Rowdy probably would have more wins if he didn't cut himself in his own, step on his own foot. You
Mm.
know, I truly feel he'll pit, a lap or two too soon or whatever the case may be, and then the end rate, long run, he's got it down packed. But then he go to pit, and then unfortunately, it just falls apart for him.
So, like I've said over and over with Rowdy, Rowdy is the fastest 3 lap driver that I could think of. He could be so quick within 3 to 4 laps. It's insane. Rowdy's long run speed definitely messes with him a little bit because he burns the car up a lot. And like you said, he shoots himself in his own foot. I want to see Rowdy this season do things differently with his strategies, because some of the strategies he does give off are pretty good. Some of these strategies he comes up with, he does too late in a race to try to benefit anything, and it usually sets him back a little bit. So, like you said, Nep, he definitely he has a strategy good and set up and ready to roll, but he shoots himself in his foot. He usually pull that card too late.
hmm
Yeah, he does, and I know that for sure because we
Hmm.
were, Shiesty and I were both on team with him, and
Hmm.
I don't think it was that season. I think it was maybe the next season, if I'm not
Yeah, that would have
mistaken.
been next season, but you
Um,
see a recurring feat
yeah,
of
and I know he does it because I do the same shit because I've learned a lot from Rowdy, and man, strategy is a lot of it, you know. So that's something I'm still learning and trying to take care of the car. And that's
Right.
with the new game now more than ever.
Hmm.
Man, tires, it's a real deal.
Yep.
You know, they start falling off, and it may not even feel like they are, but it shows. And that's to me, that's kind of what's crazy about it, because you won't even realize it, but you'll start looking at your lap times, and it's the real deal. So strategy's everything.
And heads up to everybody listening. I've been on the new game today. The first time I was able to get on the game, and you got to pay attention because there's a lot of people that don't get on and practice. They're they're going to get messed up because like with Heat 5 pit stop, all you did, you pulled in the pit road and then you made your adjustment. This, you have to make your do your pit stop and all before you even accept to go into the pits. So you've got to be driving plus making these, decisions uh, in live racing action. So
Yeah, yeah, you got to pick your tires and whether or not you want to fix damage and do all
I
that
hate that
before
you
you even
can't
go into the
adjust
pits.
wedge or anything, but you know,
Yeah,
but
not yet, at
anyway,
least. I'm sure that'll
yeah,
change.
from we haven't talked much about this, but from race number 20 at Phoenix, we go to race number 21 at Watkins Glen, and, and picking up his second win of the season. Where's he been? Like Josh said, you know, schedule restriction, but Samo was able to come out at Watkins Glen and pick up his second win of the season. You know, there's there's not much you can say about Samo and you know road course races. He's going to be up there at the top if he doesn't. If he doesn't get mixed up with somebody, he's always going to be up at the front, and it's going to be a battle. So, and I'm pretty sure coming into the new game, it's going to be the same exact way with Samo. But from Watkins Glen, we went to Daytona, and I love seeing this person with the win, Mister Mr. Lou himself, boss man, HFD, able to pick up the win there at Daytona. I believe he had a back bumper that was being pushed in by Mr. Temple. I'm not for sure, but possibly.
I don't remember. I don't remember if I was behind him or in his ass. But if I remember correctly, I think Bob was in his bumper crossing the start finish line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at a super speedway for Bob to be up there as
Yeah.
well. So, you know, and with that, race number 22, that brought us to the end of our season, our regular season.
Hmm.
And of course, who's our regular season champion going into the playoffs? Mr. Joshua Temple. You know, but now the thing is, Josh, you kind of fell off there for about 5 races there without a win. So, are you starting to get worried that all that work that you put in at the beginning of through the season might be challenging, and you might not win this championship?
So the real reason the last couple races went the way they did, it was more focused to making sure the teammates got up there because we were approaching the playoffs. So I knew I was perfectly fine by a fuck ton. Rowdy 2 was perfectly fine, but everyone talks, well, like we were saying before, how Rowdy shoots himself in the foot. Yeah, no, Rowdy can turn it up whenever the hell he wants, and that's what he did for those 2 races. And then the ending was me, Rowdy, and Bob. We were in the playoffs. There was one more car we needed to push through, and that was Lou. And we all worked together collectively to get Lou to the front and keep him there in that last race. And he got his first career win. So I mean, it was a very big team effort. But man, it's just that Toyota team will probably go down as one of the best teams ever because that we just worked together so well, and we won like two
Right.
thirds of the season, as you guys will come out to see. But yeah, I think that will go down as the best team ever to be assembled.
You know, it was good first, the first part of the season, but with playoffs, anything can happen. And the key is you win, you're into the next round, and as close knit as the points were, you know, you can slip up. So we go to race 23 at Las Vegas. And what? Bullet Bob is able to pick up his second win of the season. So those that says Bob can only win at super speedway, guess what? He did it at Las Vegas.
Hmm.
So kudos to you, Bob. You know, was able to pick up a win and advance into the playoffs. You know, race 23. Then we go to race 24. We're at the Indy Roval. Good. Thank you, Jesus, that this track is not on this new game. Thank you, Jesus.
It was so hard,
Um,
but it was so much fun.
It's a damn shame.
Hmm.
well,
I'm
my,
just
my issue with Indy Roval is you just barely get a tire on the grass and there was a penalty. You know, it's like, yeah, gum, we're not racing on the golf course. Come on, you know.
I hear you.
But you know, and of course we're at a road course. Who else is going to pick it up? None other than Mr. Samo picking up his third win. he he had 3 wins so far in the season, and all 3 being road courses. So you could pretty much say he was a road course ringer this
He
season.
called himself Boris Said. Remember
Yeah,
that.
Boris said,
He
yeah.
said Boris Said is here. Every single time I went to a damn road course, he'd show up.
All right. So I mean, Indy Roval, interesting layout, but I'm glad it's not on the new game. But from there, we go back to Richmond for race number 25 and the last race of the first round of the playoffs. And Josh, you pick up your 10th win and you sweep Richmond for the season. So there, after a few races of no wins, here you come picking up a win where you left off at.
It was go
With
time.
your 10th.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know, so Richmond, same way as earlier. Short, short track, braking properly, and you're able to pull out the win. From Richmond, we start the second round of the playoffs. Race 26, we have Dover, Monster Mile, and Joshua Temple picking up his 11th win of the season. You know, which locked him into the next round. So, like he says, time to help my teammates. So from Dover, race 27, we go to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Always a fast track, except the glitch with Heat 5. You can shift. You're only running 4 gears. Could heaven forbid you shift into fifth gear, it's going to bog down. And Rowdy 1078 is able to pick up his 5th win of the season. So we got a battle brewing in the playoffs. You know, Rowdy picks up his 5th win of the season. From there, race number 28, we're at Bristol Motor Speedway. And short track racing at its finest. Tough battling going on. Rowdy's able to pick up a back-to-back wins and pick up his 6th win of the season. Looking at my notes real quick. That's the second time Rowdy went back-to-back. He did it earlier at Darlington and Phoenix, and then he comes out here and wins the second 2 races of that playoff bracket. So sitting there with 6 wins, Josh sitting there with 11.
And then
With
Bob
4
was sitting
races.
there with what, with two?
Yeah,
So
sitting there with
Team
2.
Toyota was just
So
dominating at that point in time.
right, because Rowdy's in Toyota was just the the class to beat by far. And I think this was actually the last season that we were in, because after this season, I think we were able to just run whatever car we picked. So you could have teams where you'd have Chevy, Toyota, and Ford all on the same team. So y'all really worked phenomenal. Over there at Team Toyota.
Mhm.
All right, from Bristol, we go into the semifinal round of the playoffs, and race 29. We're at Sonoma, another road course. Speedy? Can you guess who wins this race?
Oh yeah, Samo.
Yeah, Samo picks up his 4th win. He won. We had 4 road courses that season, and he won all 4 of
He was SVG
them.
before SVG was FCG,
Yeah.
man.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not surprising. You know
he,
Samo's gonna come and show out on any given race, but road courses for sure.
that's all that Gran Turismo he plays. But you know, so we have Sonoma for the first race of that bracket. Samo picks it up, locking him into the championship race. Then from there we go to the monster Talladega Motor Speedway, and a man who probably potential could be the win a championship, but at that point he's an underdog. But Mr. Bullet Bob picks up his 3rd win of the season, locking him into the championship race.
hmm
So,
Yeah, Bob was
you
the
got
only one
two.
locked in. Samo, due to the restriction, he ended up missing the playoffs because he didn't make the recommended amount of races.
Oh, that's right.
hmm
See, this is why we have you here to keep us in line.
That's what I'm here for, Nep.
Right. All right. And then from Talladega, we go to Martinsville. And everybody hold on tight because Martinsville is a tough track. And Josh, you're able to pick up your 12th win of the season, locking you into the championship race. So,
Yes, I mean the
you know,
mentality there was basically, carry as much momentum as I can possibly find to the championship race, because what you guys will find out shortly what happens in that race, but it was a very intense race.
very intense.
Yeah, Rowdy's usually pretty good there as well, so
hmm
it's a
So
it's
that,
a tough track.
you know, so that had us, we're done. We're going into championship week. We have 4 guys competing for the championship. You know, Bullet Bob locked himself into the championship. He goes into championship race. He had 11 top 5 finishes, 27 top 10 finishes, 2 stage wins, an average start of 6.7, and an average finish of 5.8. So I mean, he earned. You need to say he earned the right to be in there. Also, locking himself into the playoffs. I mean, the championship races. MB, you know, he won a couple races throughout the season. 17 top 5, 30 top 10s, 3 stage wins, an average start of 7.5, and an average finish of 5.2. And then the coming in favors for the championship, you got Rowdy sitting there. I believe he's sitting in 2nd in points going into that race.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
you know, 29 starts, 6 wins, 15 top 5s, 28 top 10s, 9 poles, 5 stage wins, an average start of 3.5. with an average finish of 5.2. Phenomenal for Rowdy. And then we got Mr. Josh, who's sitting there off of 30 starts. You won, damn near won half the races with 12 wins, 26 top fives, 30 top tens, 12 poles, 26 stage wins. You had an average start of 2.8 and an average finish of a 2.8. So
Yeah,
not only could you qualify right, you were finding yourself right there.
yeah, we definitely had a car that season. I'd love to have that car back.
Oh, I bet. So, where's the championship race at? Homestead Motor Speedway. And Josh, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Oh, right. So, okay, it was me, Rowdy, MB, and Bob. We were all battling it out. I think Rowdy and Bob were on a different strategy, and it screwed them at the end, so they ended up pretty far behind. Um, all I remember was it was Samo leading, me second, MB third. We came out the pits. Me and Samo tag team together, pulled away from MB, and then it got to the point where I was like, I could sit behind Samo and push him the whole time and let him, get us away and he can win it and I win a championship. But what's the fun in that? I need to go out there and try to win this damn thing. That's exactly what the fuck I did. Um, I got replays and replays and replays. Me and Samo battling side by side for I think it was the last 8 or 10 laps. Um, and little did I realize, because I only started paying attention coming to 3 to go, MB ran us down, and he was about just over a second and a half from us. So if he got snip a draft, if me and Simone messed up in one of our corners, MB was right there, and it was not going to be an easy feat. Because like I said earlier, he was hungry, and he came into this championship knowing he was probably looked at as an underdog, and he was proving everyone wrong. He was out there showing that hey, I'm gonna go out there and run with the best of the best, and I will go out there and do what I need to try to win a championship. And he got close. I think he closed into almost exactly a second and a half for me and Smell. But me and Smell battled right up to the last lap. I think it was coming to the white flag. I think I finally got the lead from Smell, and I was able to hold on to it. That marked 13 wins, which was cool for me. Um, and yeah, that was my third championship. Um, that was my sixth straight championship for appearance. I have not missed any. That's one thing I hold myself very high and accountable for is I go in there, we have a championship for that season. I'm gonna make the championship for at least. So that was a cool part. I've won half the championships that I've competed for. So I'll I'll take it. I'll definitely take it as a W. And man, what a season that was.
Right.
Oh, okay. You done, Josh?
Yes, actually.
I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, you're always tough to beat.
It,
You and Samo. That's why I'm so excited for this new season. Because I
mm,
don't think it's gonna be that any long. I mean,
I think we're gonna see 4, 5, maybe 6 guys that are consistently running up front, fighting
for
for a
sure.
win
Those
instead
wins are
of
gonna get
2 or 3.
and to
Well,
go
yeah. I
back
mean,
to what I said before, especially in these cars in NASCAR 25, man, if you pack air in someone's car the right way, their car will get loose. They will go for a ride. So you can manipulate the air around the car in front of you just to get by them. So we're gonna watch out for that because that'll be a whole different story. That'll be completely something crazy.
yeah, and what's something I've noticed is how easy it is to hook somebody and
Yep.
get them spinning. It's so easy. I mean,
Retaliation, baby.
or
Hmm.
if you
I'm
turn
excited.
down in front of somebody, I've Yeah, I know Trickle and I have been running a little bit, and if I go to turn down a little early and he doesn't know it, I go spinning, so it's different.
It was a long season, but it was a blast in the same sense, And congratulations, Josh, on your third championship. But there was other awards to be handed out for that season. You know, we get y'all gave out what total of six plus a special award as well. I
Yep,
want to say it was.
yep. There were 6 awards in total, and then there was the one at the end.
The first one was Rookie of the Year. You know, Rookie of the Season went to Mr. Speedy Racer.
He chose a bad time to back out. I tell you that much.
Right? We
There
finally go
he
to
is.
we finally go to talk to him, and then he decided to leave. Speedy, you came into this season, your first season with us, and you have a you finished seventh in the points. Average start of 54. No, you started what the heck? Average start 5.4. Average finish 5.8. So you were up there almost every race. You had yourself a pole, won one stage win, 15 top fives, 22 top tens out of just 26 starts. You're able to come in there and win rookie of the year. You know, hats off to you, bud.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got booted off Discord through the PlayStation for some reason, so I had to pick up my phone. Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, this is the season that I came in on, and after running just a few races, I started realizing how much fun it was and how competitive it was over here. Like I'd said before, couple episodes you guys had me on ago, man, I was a dirt guy and I didn't, I've never really played NASCAR very much, but just running with you guys and, everybody's super cool. And, yeah, I just got hooked. So after a couple races, I'm like, man, I really want to get into this. And, I started practicing and putting laps down and I don't remember who all I was competing against for Rookie of the Year. I do remember me and Big Mike came in at the same time. So it was him, maybe Mater, Chase was in there. Um, I think there was a couple other guys.
Yeah, I don't remember who else, but I think in total there was about 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, and
Maybe,
my big
maybe.
thing was to just be consistent. Just go out and try to be consistent. I knew I wasn't going to keep pace with, all the top guys, and and then I still try to do that. But yeah, it was fun. And then to get recognized in the league for a rookie of the year was awesome. And Josh is handing out trophies, and I'd never been a part of, an esports or online league quite like this one. So yeah, I thought that was cool and an awesome addition, and just kind of brought everything to the next level. So yeah, I had a lot of fun that season, as I do every season.
Right. Maybe we can talk to MB and maybe we could get him to work up when he does the regular points standing. Maybe with as many new people as we have coming in, maybe he can do a rookie standings as well, and track that throughout the season. Be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And just seeing, like average starts and finishes and it's a lot of fun to keep up on that week in and week out. He does such a good job. Well, I mean, we all know that. And all of us really look forward to seeing that week in and week out. So it's awesome.
Right. Well, along with that rookie of the year, we had a most improved driver. Beyond a shadow of doubt, he finished in the championship finished fourth place in points. Average finish 6.6. Average finish 5.9. Average start was 6.6. 3 wins on the season. 11 top fives. 28 top tens out of 29 starts. Mr. Bullet Bob was able to walk away with the most improved driver. Hands down, I think we were doing the voting on that, and there was no doubt that he was the favorite to win that award. Um, the next award that was handed out was head of the class qualifier, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, with 12 poles to go with his 13 wins and an average start of 2.9, Josh, you picked up another trophy for your casing with the head of a class qualifier.
Yeah, man. And I thought Rowdy was going to win this award when we had all this stuff picked out before the season even started of what our award ceremony will have for for the season. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, Rowdy's got that in the bag. And then I came out and got 12 pulls. I've never in my life been that fast in a short run. And that was cool to have. So yeah, no, it was something different for me. But yeah, add another trophy to the trophy case, so I'll take it.
Also, we gave out Rough Rider Award. Sound like that's just something that should be passed out at the AVN Awards, but hey, you know. But the Rough Rider Award went to Rowdy Rooster 95, not the other Rowdy Rooster, but the one that we all like, Mr. Cody Foss. Um, average start eighth, average finish 8.6. He was able to pick up one pole throughout the season, four top fives, 18 top tens out of 24 starts. I mean, and that's the thing. We ran 32 races,
Hmm.
and he only ran 24, and was still able to finish ninth in points. Could you imagine if he was able to run every race? And I think that was when he was working at the bowling alley also. So on top of racing,
Oh
he was
yes.
having to work at the same time. Well, I think
Hmm.
we all remember racing and hearing the pins shattering in the background. So yeah, it was it was interesting.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. I love Rooster. He's the one that brought me into the league, and we've done a lot of racing together. Me, him, and Mike. But however, it seemed like there for a while. Anytime you'd get near him, you'd be watching your back because he was he was rough there sometimes. But
yeah,
yeah, no,
he
I love Rooster.
oh yeah, he'll put a fender to you and test you. That's for sure. Uh, the next award that was given out. Oh man, most valuable driver. Finished first in points. I've already said all the stats. I'm not going to repeat them again. Mr. Josh picking up your third award, the championship, and now your second other award for most valuable driver.
If I remember correctly, this was my second time winning the most valuable driver award. Um, yeah, I mean, how can you not? Like, I don't want to put it that way, but how can you not? Just I came out and almost won half the races. It just, man, I mean, you couldn't put together a better season. For as competitive as it was and as hard as it was to get the wins, you could not put together a better season.
Exactly. And the next award, and the last regular award, and this man, y'all might have to change this award to the Big Mike Award. The Tough Luck Award went to none other than Big Mike himself. He was a rookie that in this season, and he, he would always be at the wrong place at the wrong time,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, you know, you know, things didn't work out great. But he was able to pick up the Tough Luck Award. You know, like I said, y'all might need to consider renaming the award the Big Mike Award.
And the big
Yeah,
thing with Mike too, he really toughed out a lot of races. So like, yeah, the tough luck award was just like, all right, yeah, it's for the person that gets in the worst luck. But also it's to acknowledge like we see you doing well, but we also see you get stuck in the worst crap possible. So we're gonna acknowledge that you do well week in and week out. So yeah, I mean that's more what that tough luck award was for.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
one of
for
those.
sure.
There was a bunch of people in the league that if they got into a big, wreck or whatever, or they fell a lap or two behind, they just went ahead and called it a night. Mike would sit there and run every rate, every lap. No matter if he was on the lead lap or if he was multiple laps down, he was going to run and he was going to finish that race. That was his goal. So well deserving of the tough luck award. You
Yeah, and
know,
Mike would show up. Sorry, not Mike would show up. Even if after you're out of the season, you're not even in the hunt for the chase. And he was like, like me, he'd still show up and run. Even if he knew he wasn't going to be in contention for the championship, he's one of those guys. So definitely a good addition. I do feel that this season, I think it's going to be a little different for Big Mike. I've seen Mike, and I've seen him the way he's been running. I think him winning the Tough Luck Award's probably going to be in the past because I do think he's going to find ways to not put himself in those situations.
all right. You know, that wrapped up our regular awards. Now we was honored. You know we were able to honor another award, um, and due to situations beyond his control, he wasn't able to race as much anymore. So the league felt that it was right to he had a championship underneath his belt and three career wins that so the first Hall of Fame inductee and only at this moment Hall of Fame inductee was none other than Cody Brewer, BMF 2256. Um, Josh, you want to touch on that Hall of Fame picking?
Yeah. So just to give everyone a little glimpse of what's coming for us this season, he is returning. But back to this. Um, yeah, he just didn't have the time to be on with us anymore, and by all means, it was always fun running with BMF. I always loved running with him. He's a good guy. He's really fun to talk to. When you get out there on the track, he makes races fun. Especially with his commentary on certain things and him talking. Even if he tries to talk shit to somebody, it still comes out hilarious. So it was awesome having him in this league and being able to run with him. And yeah, he took that 24 car. That's the only car he wanted. And each season he got drafted, it was still open. He hopped on it. Uh, but he got his three career wins. He was always up towards the front. There's a couple of tracks he struggled at, but I mean, we all have that. And he came out in season two and did the unthinkable. He went in as the underdog in that series. Um, and came out on top. So I mean, it was fulfilling. It was worth it, and he deserved it. So if he comes around, races one of us one more season, and calls it quits, he's still in our Hall of Fame. He still was a big part of our league and what we built, and he played he played part of the history in it. So yeah, he was deserving.
That's
Well,
awesome. I'm looking forward to running with him. I don't know. Was he around when I joined? He wasn't running, was he?
No, he did not run.
no.
Season three was his last season he ran.
Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait. 'Cause I've heard you guys talk about him and everything, so
Hmm.
definitely look forward to that. All I gotta say is, oh, Big Mike, we got another
we're,
Jeff
yeah,
Gordon
we're gonna
lover.
gonna have to have a rock paper scissor to see who gets that 24 car, I guess.
Well, Mike is a captain this season, so
Yeah. Well, that was the awards given out. Briefly, let's look over. After season four completion, let's look at total wins. Leading the board, Joshua Temple with 40 wins. Samo sitting there with 19 wins. Rowdy 1078. Now, keep in mind, Rowdy was a rookie in season three, right? Yeah, he come in a dirt guy and phenomenal. He's sitting there with 10 wins.
Yeah, he charged.
Harvick, Harvick, 0429, 6 wins. Rowdy Rooster 79, 5 wins. Cowboy with 4 wins. Bullet Bob with 3. BMF with 3 wins. AWOL had 2 wins. J Clay with 2 wins. NASCAR 924 500 fucking letters with 2 wins. Um, MB with 2 wins. Daytona with 2 wins. Y'all really gotta say that name?
Yeah,
Anyways, but
yeah.
but
POS two
but
wins.
yeah, POS, uh, WOS, waste of skin
There
with
you
two
go.
wins. AJ with 1. Colts Facer with 1. HFD with 1, and Beastie Boy with 1 win. You know, so a lot of wins there, Josh, with 40.
And every single one was difficult. So at this point in time, 40 was cool. 50 sounds even better. I wanted 50. I was coming out swinging for 50.
But we'll have to see if he hits 50 next week
Exactly.
because that's the wrap for season 4 of the Cup. But we're not done yet. Remember, I said this season we had ran 2 different classes. We ran the Cup, and then we also ran the the first, you know, national series sponsored by First Place Auto Glass. You know, and everybody was allowed to run in it, so it was going to be interesting because we were running Cup races about halfway through, almost about halfway through the season. We decided, hey, let's run on Sunday nights and run the Xfinity cars. Um, our first race was at Atlanta. Samo comes out hot, setting the pole time of 29.439. But the winner of the race ended up being Mr. Cloudy 24-26, picks up the win. He was the new guy that just came in. Um,
I
I
forgot
was
about
looking,
him. He was
yeah,
pretty quick too.
He was the
yeah,
cheater that came in.
Oh, was he cheating?
He
Yeah, I
was the
don't
one.
remember if cheating.
Dirt and Rowdy sat there and figured it all out for me in one day. So
Hmm.
the Heat 5 was a very trickable game, which I didn't realize. Um, he would go into test session, put a setup in the car, run it at that track that we're racing at. When we would send out invites for everyone to join for qualifying, he would carry that setup into the lobby.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Dirt and Rowdy
Huh.
tried out. They're like, Josh. I was like, so did he crack the case? He's like, that motherfucker's been cheating because he would just pull away. And like, I get it.
Right.
People be
Right.
quick and shit. And like after a while, they would pull away. But like lap one, he's like a half second faster than everybody. And it's just like that makes no sense.
Oh, what a dirtbag.
Yep, that's why he got a quick exit.
I'll be damned.
Hmm.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks to Dirt and Rowdy, they figured that all out for me.
Yeah.
race 2, we went to Richmond, where P. Fulton would come off with a pole, 20 with a time of 21.311, and Cloudy would pick up the win for that race. You know, win number 2. We're really not going to talk about that because, like Josh said, he was the cheater. So cheating doesn't prosper. Race 3, we went to Chicagoland, where Mr. Cloudy would pick up the pole with a 30.717, but good old Smo will come out there and pick up the victory. Um, Outstanding run for Smo to pick up the win. From there, we went to Phoenix, where Daytona would come off with the pole with a 26.613 and battled hard. But at the end of the day, Rowdy 1078 was able to pick up the win. From Phoenix, we went to Auto Club, where B Million, not B Million would come out with a hot qualifying lap of 39.841, but good old Samo was able to pick up a win to win race 5. Race 6, and I'm happy about this one. Race 6, we go to Talladega, and not to toot my own horn, but I set a blistering pace in winning my first and only so far pole win with a 48.314. I don't know how I did it. I just managed to pull it out of my ass, I guess. But when it came race time, I finished up there close to the top, but Daytona was able to pick up the win there at Talladega. It was a good race. From race 6 to race 7, we go to Dover, where B Million was able to pick up the pole with a 23.594. And Josh, you were able to pick up your first win.
Now, let me tell you
For
something
the
about these Xfinity cars. I could not, for the life of me, figure it the fuck out. This really showed a lot of trouble for me. Um, and plus, coming off what happened in Cup Series, I was like, man, why is this not transferring over to the Xfinity side of things? Yeah, the cars were completely different. They ate the right rears up like no tomorrow, and they were crazy as fuck to drive. But it took a while to finally grab and snag a win in the series. But man, was I happy as hell to get that monkey off my back.
Might I add, if I remember correctly, this was where I started. And honestly, I never seen Josh practice these Xfinity cars. And I remember Rowdy and Dirt and Speedy telling him to get on, practice these cars. And for whatever reason, whether it was time or whatever, he just never got on to practice. And then once he got to practicing, you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah. You know, race 8 took us over to Bristol Motor Speedway. P. Fulton, he was one guy that he was quick. When it came to qualifying, um, he he sat on the pole with a 15.895. But good, Mr. Rowdy 1078 was able to pick up another win for the season. Rowdy was coming strong in this season. You know, he was hoping to. About the time we started this season, he started making some ground over in the Cup Series. So he was trying to win both championships. You know, from race 8, we went to race 9, which was at Kansas, and Mr. Speedy Racer, you picked up the pole with a 30.940.
Let's go. I remember now that you mentioned something, but I know I was quick on a lot of the tracks. It was just that win has just eluded me, and it's just a testament to how good the competition is. So
Well, you, you, you set a blistering qualifying lap, started on the pole, but at the end of the day, Josh was able to pick up a win. He
yeah, and I
started.
think if I remember that one, Josh and I don't know if it was that one at Kansas or if it was maybe that next season, but that was one that I think I could have had. I was right there on Josh. It was a fun race though, man. I love Kansas, and yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I don't remember what that one was about. I have to go back and watch it, but Kansas is always a
Yeah,
great fucking race, regardless, and especially in these things. With these things, as much as they would like to slide around, it was a blast. I love that track.
yeah.
Well, from there, we went over to Watkins Glen, the road course, race number 10. P. Fulton's able to pick up the pole with a 1 minute 9 second .056. But after an interesting road course, it came down to Josh picking up the win, back-to-back wins. He's starting to get the feel for these cars. Looking to be, dominate in the Xfinity class, just like he was dominating in the Cup class.
It was just difficult. Like those Xfinity cars were just completely different. I didn't spend much time on them, so yeah, I need to get on there and learn them. And thank God I started to, because then it really transferred over. And honestly, I think that's what helped me in the Cup Series, because as grounded as they were, as tight as those things ran, I ran it a little bit looser, so I was able to handle a little bit of a looser car. And I mean, I think that's what propelled me in most of my things, definitely for sure.
Sorry, that message come through. All right, from Watkins Glen, we go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where Samo was able to pick up a pole with a 51.693. But at the end of the race, Rowdy picks up another win. In his '78 car, his third win in three different paint schemes. I think he ended up staying with this paint scheme for the remainder of the season, but he was trying out things. From Indianapolis, we went to Texas, where Mr. Wolfie Band was able to pick up a pole with a 29.849. And the race winner for that Texas race, Mr. Speedy Racer 2000.
I'm sorry,
Taking
Nep. What race was that?
That was at Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go, Speedy.
Yeah.
He says, now that you say that,
First career win, I believe it was.
Yes, yes, sir. It sure was.
And that was two first
So
too. I think that was Wolfie's first pole ever.
yeah, it was Wolfie's first
So that
pole
was
ever,
pretty
and
cool.
Speedy be able to pick up the win. From there, race 13, we go to Las Vegas, and Fulton picks up another pole with a 30.920. But at the end of the day, Samo picks up another win, winning at Vegas. Oh, my phone's dying. From there, we went to Road of America, where Josh, you picked up the pole with a 2 minute, 7 seconds, and .229. But in a hard battle, Samo picks up the win.
Yeah, I pulled that out my ass.
But Samo was able to win that one.
Hmm.
So now, but the next race, we go to Iowa. Josh, you were the man. Picked up the pole with a 23.444. Won it, won all three stages, or won the first two stages, and then crossed the finish line at first, picking up another win.
That was a good car.
Showing.
Yeah, Iowa. I always liked Iowa. I liked how like loose you get off of two, how low the car wants to go in the corner. It just all together, it was a great track with. I think it was a great track with a great car selection to go with it. So it really made it for a freaking awesome race.
Well, with that being said, we had one race left, and the four people battling it out for the championship for the first place autographed national series. You had Samo, yourself, Josh, Rowdy 1078, and Miss Dirt Slinger 88. You know, and she was always right up there. You know, almost catching a win. We go down, and where of all places to end the season, Martinsville, and um, Okay, I don't have my poll. I don't know who won the poll for that, Rick. I believe Rowdy had gotten the poll.
Rowdy had
And,
everything. He had the pole, he had
yeah,
the stages, he won the race,
Clean sweep.
and he won a championship.
With that,
okay.
if I remember correctly, we had a restart with about 25 laps to go. There was a caution and kicked it down to about 20 laps to go. And Rowdy was starting, I think, second row on the inside behind Samo and Josh. And I remember him getting in the back of Samo going into 3. And dirt was on the outside of him, and it just completely pushed all 3 of them up the track. And he just ended up walking away with it after that.
Like he had the car the whole time. We could not keep pace with him. I threw so many adjustments at the damn thing. I think I finished in second, a half lap behind him.
I mean, he was just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to Rowdy, who was able to pick, win the championship. The inaugural Xfinity season. And we're about to start we're going to be starting up our third Xfinity season. So, you know, we'll discuss the second one at a later, the second season, which was fun. But that's about all I've got for today, guys. Um, Great to be back. But at this time, let's send it over to, since he's here, send it over to Shiesty for Shitty Showtime.
Thank you, Nep. This is Shitty Showtime. I'm Dr. Shiesty, also known as Devin, or Shitty for drivers in the league. This is a segment where I chat to get involved, answer these questions, ask some questions, and I want this panel to get along in this segment as well. That being said, I'm going to move on to my first question. Out of Carson Hocevar and Ty Gibbs, I was thinking on this at my mom's house today. I was wondering, who do you guys think will be the first to get their first cup win?
I'll go first. Out of these two, Carson. Carson to me, so much more aggressive. I think, especially with him being as young as he is, he's only been to Cup Series for how long now?
I believe 2
I
seasons.
think
I
it's
think he
two full
came in with
seasons.
Ty
Yeah,
Gibbs.
yeah, but it just, and I'm gonna use it. Ty Gibbs being a spoon-fed kid versus Carson, who's just been like trying to come up through everything. Carson's got a lot to prove, and I think he's definitely gonna put that 77 in victory lane before that 54 even touches it.
Yeah, for me, I'm hoping it's Carson Hocevar. I really grown close to him after I realized where he came from, and he was only born he was racing about 30 minutes outside my girlfriend's house at her local track, and I mean, I've just been a fan of his aggressive driving, his really heel to the sport, which I felt like we really needed after, say, Kyle Busch fell off and he doesn't have the room to talk, or we just don't have the aggressive Punisher anymore. Some people called him like the miniature intimidator kind of guy, and I feel like he fits that pretty well.
I don't know a lot about either of them, but I'd go with Hocevar as well. I've seen a little bit of what he does out there on the track, and I feel like he's got it for sure. So that's who I'd go with.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, Carson.
Alrighty. With my next question, now that we've seen new game NASCAR 25, how do you think this season will be shaping out? Josh, I know you hinted on it earlier. I want to go to you first on this one.
All right. So from what I've been seeing, there's been two specific people really blowing me out of the water in my expectation. That is Sea Trickle and that is Rebneck. Um, I feel like these two are actually going to come out swinging and they're going to get wins early in the season. And I'm not just talking one win, I'm talking probably three, four apiece. I think they're going to be a dominant force in the league. The only thing I see that's really hindering both of them, even though it's not that they're slow, they're still consistent, but there's a little more they can definitely go out and grab is at road courses. That's the only thing I've really picked up on. Other than that, intermediate, short track, super speedways, they're going to be lights out. So keep an eye on them this season.
One thing I've noticed with Trickle especially is he is getting better all the way around. Road courses, intermediate, shorts. He's putting in the time and he's definitely putting in the effort, and I'm seeing it for sure. Another guy I wanted to highlight, like Speedy said earlier, is Big Mike. I've been running practices with him, and he might not be the fastest, but you can tell he's more consistent. He's taking to this game a lot better than he took to NASCAR Heat 5. And I know it's weird coming out of my mouth, but I think he's going to show a lot of improvement from his 3 Tough Luck Awards in 2 different leagues for sure.
Yeah, and once again, shit like we've been saying, it just comes down to practice. The guys that are on here practicing are usually going to be the guys that are going to be up there doing good. Now, still, you got Samo, you got Josh, you got Rowdy, you got all the fast guys, which I anticipated are going to come from NASCAR Heat 5 and dominate and come over here and do just as well, if not better. However, you've got a lot of up and coming drivers that the ones that are willing to put in the time and the practice will have that shot. So, man, it's going to be an amazing season, and I've only been a part of it for less than half of it, but just in my eyes, this is going to be the most competitive season ever. And especially with the car count that we're potentially going to end up having, it's going to be so much fun. So, yeah, I mean,
100%.
practice, practice, practice. And, that's some of these guys that get on there and do that, and they want to compete and they want to do good. So, yeah, it'll be amazing.
Nep, would you like to touch on this?
Oh, I agree. I mean, Mike's gonna be a tough one. Bob's gonna be a tough one. Um, Rowdy's always gonna be a tough one. Um, so um, I just got on the game today, first time. Now, one thing that I did see, Outlaw is really good, especially when it comes to road course and all that. So I'm interested to see these new people. How do they play in the mix? There could be a diamond in the rough. You never know. Rowdy was a diamond in the rough. Speedy, yourself, you were a diamond in the rough. You came in,
Reb, Reb as
Reb,
well.
so it'd be interesting to see some of these new people that's coming in. Is one of them going to be the next, Josh and Samo? That's just every week up there dominating the circuit. So
And I like where we're heading on that with the new drivers coming up, but I wanted to highlight an older driver that's been running with us, Jay Clay. He ran with
yeah,
us yesterday, and he's consistently hitting his marks. He's finding his spot. I think he said he was on a controller, which is impressive for this game, especially. And I really wanted to highlight him too, because I was practicing with him. I seen he was hanging up there with everyone else, and hell, he was making passes and all that fun stuff, which you love to see coming from a returning driver from the league.
yeah, Jay Clay's a great guy. Um, Ran the first couple of seasons and then decided to step away. So to see him come back, and I've raced with Jay Clay pretty much ever since I first started online racing on World of Outlaw. We started in this one group, this one league over there, and actually before I even joined any racing league on over on World of Outlaw, me and Jay and Hamrick, we would run lobbies for hours. We started and worked all the way to the last track, and we would just run and run and run, and then he joined the league that league, and then asked he said, "Hey man, come run with us." I was like, "All right, why not?" So I've been running with him for a long time, and I think he's gonna be he when he really puts his mind to it, he's going to be one that could possibly come out there and contend for a championship.
100%. All right, we're going to move on to our next question, which is, does any of the live chat or any of the panel here have any extra questions? I'd love to get everybody immersed, especially from the chat. I think we're going to take about 3 to 5 questions and then move on.
I wanted to add something real quick about Jay Clay. I
Yeah,
do
of course.
remember running with him over in the Dirt Series as well, and yeah, he was fun to run with. So I'm looking forward to having him back in the show, and another seems like another good dude to have in the league, and I know that's what we're always looking for. So it'll be a good time. Well, we're gonna have so much fun with all these new additions back into the league. So it's gonna be great. We got any
I
questions?
do I do have one extra question for some of the this is more shot towards Josh and Neb of the returning drivers from the league. Do you guys think will take to the league as if they never missed a beat?
No, there's one person I
Nobody.
think possibly will, and that's BMF just because of his background. But like Jay Clay, I know he's been running dirt. Um, when he left the league, he was at a very high level. He was finishing up towards the front. He was winning races, and then he went on his hiatus. Now he's back to a completely different game. I don't think he's gonna come in and just go back to the old ways, but I would love for him to prove me wrong. So
Of course.
yeah, let me see what you got.
Nep, any of the older returning drivers? Do you think any of them will show signs of their old self in the new league and in the new game?
Um, it honestly, if she comes in the way she came into Heat 5, I think Dirt could be a contender. You know,
That's
as
an
long
amazing
as long
choice.
as long as we don't drag into hockey season, hockey playoffs. But Dirt is a great person, good person to learn from, and all that. So you know, Dirt potentially. Um, Trying to think of some of the returning people. Unfortunately, the last season, the last Xfinity season, you know, my work schedule changed and I wasn't able to run and then PlayStation did away with the game, so I wasn't able to run. But from what I've seen, Trickle's going to be tough. Um, you know, like y'all said, MB, Bob, you know, they all have a chance. Mike Wolfie, his name you can throw in the mix. He's a determined racer that he kicks his own self in the ass if he messes up. So Wolfie's a potential. Interesting to see if he's able to put the full attention into it. Rooster, Rooster can be tough, and he's coming back. He ran a few races past couple of seasons, but to come back, hopefully he can be full time. I know he's got a new baby and all, so it's hard for him, but Be interested to see what he does.
Yeah, well, Nep, I haven't seen him on practicing. I'm not even too sure if he's got the game. I don't know if anybody spoke with him, but I sure haven't. If that's the case, he's gonna need to get on.
He did not have the
Come
game
over here
yet.
and.
He was getting it
Oh, okay.
this Thursday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd love to see him back on. Man, I love running with Rooster.
Another name that is returning. He kind of disappeared in season 5 of the Cup Series due to personal issues. RCR. How do you guys think he will take to this new game?
Well, let me fill you in on that one quick because this is gonna completely change his question up. He will not be
Oh.
returning for this season.
Oh, okay.
He will. He was
Well,
trying to, but yeah, he won't be able to.
Oh,
well, that's a shame because he was high on my draft board. I'll tell you that much.
Hmm.
But I think I ain't got no comments. So if the panel doesn't have any more questions, I think we're good to move on.
Speedy, do you have anything before we end up wrapping this up?
No, not that I can think of. I'm looking forward to get back out there on the track and running
Hmm.
some more practice before the the season gets going here. And I would like to anybody that is listening, you can just get on and start running with us. It sure is a lot of fun, and once we get into the season, it's going to heat up, and it'll be a good time.
Definitely, that's all I'm ready for. It's just I'm ready for the season just to kick off and let's just fucking do this. But as always, thank you everyone that pops in here, gives us a listen, gives the channel a follow, just sees what we're about. You know, it's greatly appreciated. Again, we try to make our league be more in depth. People enjoy it. People be excited for it, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. That's what this podcast is a big part of. So for people that pop in here to give us a view and give us the support on it, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Between myself, Shiesty, and Nep, there's a lot of work that goes into the show, and it wouldn't be without. Um, we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for people actually popping in here to give it a listen and interact with us. So again, big thank you. Between me, Shiesty, and Trickle, we put a lot of work into the graphic side of things, um, making the slides and stuff like that. It's a lot of pressure every week, and you just want to make sure you do everything as best as you can. So without them,
Make it look pretty.
yeah, without them, this wouldn't be what it is. So I'll thank you guys until I can't freaking speak anymore. Last but not least, Speedy, thank you so much for popping in here. We do appreciate you coming in and sitting down with us and talking and reminiscing about what the past was and what we have coming for the future.
Yeah, man, anytime. And thanks to all three of you guys. You guys do an amazing job, and this adds a whole new level to the series, the league, and I'm always happy to be here. So I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. And just like that, that is all the time we have for tonight. So everybody, you guys have a wonderful night, and we will catch you next week.